101.7 Super FM.
Your one family, one radio is 10:05 a.m.
You're welcome to the spot, the super pod.
Starting off.
No, jinx.
I know.
Go ahead.
Starting off this pod today, this morning, has got to be with Family Matters. I mean, it's Wednesday, we celebrate women, and there's usually a woman that would come into the studio every other Wednesday, or every Wednesday. She has been
Every other Wednesday-ish.
Yeah, because she's a Jala. She can be in Nigeria today.
Jala the
Tomorrow she say,
traveler.
I'm not in the country. I need to just leave for
It's like,
a
I'm
bit.
not going to be available.
Wow.
But you know, I love it
That's
because
I
you're
love
a
it
busy
for her.
person, and so it's a privilege to have you
Wow.
every time
It
that
is.
you're here.
You're just
And we
exposing
don't.
me like that.
No, because we can't take it for granted.
We cannot.
And you know, the
We know
times
the
you're
word.
not here, there's a good reason you're not here. You're
Yeah.
impacting the world.
Yep.
As you should.
Making money.
I mean, I like your
That
podcast
too.
a lot because I've been watching your podcast, and just so you know.
Oh, thank
Just
you.
so you know.
Thank you.
Well, today on Family Matters, Family Matters, if you don't already know this, is a show that avails us the opportunity to have conversations about family and everything in between, because family is not an important thing. It is everything. So, and doing justice to this topic that we have for today, before I mention this topic, let's even say the person is going to analyze this thing, because it's she that came up with it. Oh,
We are general bystanders.
As
No,
it stands.
the issue is somebody issue. She said no. I know what to call this issue problem. The title of this problem is we shall tell you. And then so we are going to look at it from her point of view, and we are just here to, you know, we're like linemen. We're just, you know,
just
making sure that the ball
we're
doesn't
the
go out of
referees.
the. No, we are linemen. We're
Linemen.
watching from the corner.
from the side. So
You
that
don't,
there's
you
no
don't
corner
listen.
kick.
You know, you don't listen to football enough. Anyway,
Linemen are in football.
American football.
Have linemen.
Yeah.
But they have referees in
normal football too have linemen.
They do?
They call them linesmen. Yes.
Oh, really?
I thought it was only
Ryder.
American football.
Don't we have linemen in football? Yes,
Linemen.
Dan.
Oh,
In
no.
soccer. In soccer. No, in soccer.
No, I know about American football.
Yeah.
But soccer, I'm not sure.
Soccer, there are linemen on the side to make sure that you don't cross the line as you don't break it.
And corner and all that.
Say that again.
They monitor the throwing.
Thank you.
That's their work.
I used to
So
try.
that's their
man.
work.
That's
They're
my
not
next
part
life.
of
I'm
the
going to
players.
do
They're not part of the
sports.
players. They don't play. They just monitoring spirits.
We don't play. We are not playing. We are just monitoring spirits. Okay, the woman we have in front of us is
She is a multicultural, independent psychological therapist with years of experience working with neurodivergent children, adolescent mental health issues, adult and families who have experienced trauma and other psychological issues as well. She's a trained metaphysical counselor with over 15 years of experience. She has worked with individuals from various ethnic and economic backgrounds who wish to understand their life's purpose and find yourself. She is your go-to if you want to find yourself.
yes.
She is your go-to.
Yes.
She holds a BSc in psychology from Derby University and an MSc in psychological therapies from Queen Mary's. Her name is even Queen Mary's University, London. She has a range of clinical and private practice experience spanning over 13 years. She has also been a school owner. You see that she doesn't call herself a principal.
No.
Or she just says, I'm a school owner for over 22 years, where she designed a school-based special needs program to support school communities with mental health services.
She is Ghanaian, Nigerian, German. Join it anyhow you want it.
If you want
She's
to
all of
German
them.
first.
We are claiming all at the same time. But she's such an amazing soul. And every time we have holistic therapy on the show, every time she's here.
Yes.
Please, ladies,
Make
gentlemen, hermaphrodites along. Make welcome our guest and a counselor, holistic therapist,
Exactly.
Mary
B.
Okon, aka Mary with the voice.
Oh,
And
yo,
today the
planned
voice
that.
is exceptionally beautiful and deeper because she has a little bit of a cold. And it's sweet.
Oh,
It's
it's nice size. You don't understand.
I-
When she just said,
The cold is
"Hi,
going to
good
go. Don't
morning," I'm
worry.
like, "Oh,
the
stop
cold,
it,
the cold
I
will
like
leave.
It will.
But it
I
will.
know.
But
I love
do we really want it to?
Give yourself. Stop it. Okay, so
We
the
love
matters
you.
are rising because some people are just here like, you people tell us what's happening. We have been telling them since morning that there's an issue on the ground. The story reads, I'm 37, married with 2 young kids. I live in Abuja with my family, and I have to be honest, things haven't been so easy. I owned my own small company, but Nigerian economy ran my business to the ground. It's been so crazy that I've had to go back to the 9-to-5 system. My work is so intensive and exhausting that I sometimes have to bring work home. My wife has been supportive. The problem, though, is that she keeps complaining about me missing out on family time and bonding. For me, my primary focus is being able to take care of my home as the head. I feel like all that can wait until I'm doing well. It's not such a big deal. The kids are still very young. We can always make up for the lost time later. Please, am I wrong?
And when we send this story to Amiri with the voice, she goes on to target emotional hygiene. And I'm like, hey, okay.
We took a while before we responded to her. We had to talk to each other like, what's going on?
What's emotional hygiene? Okay, we told her not to explain it to us at all. Let us give a natural reaction to us understanding what emotional hygiene means from her point of view.
Mary with the voice.
Mary with the voice.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, ladies.
Please, why is emotional hygiene that you brought to the studio?
You know, when you sent me the story, it was such a classic, issue that we face every day here in Africa, where traditionally men have to provide. They are expected to provide, be the head. The pressure is pressuring, and they leave running the homes, raising the kids to the women, and I'm going to be out there to, make ends meet, basically. And that's been tradition, classic. But what we have seen over the years is, as a result of that, is emotional detachment from homes, emotional immaturity, and a whole bunch of triggers, stresses, and issues like that people don't know how to manage. You have a whole bunch of adults, men, women running around who don't know how to self-regulate their emotions because they weren't taught emotional hygiene from little. Now, what do I mean by emotional hygiene? The way, Choma, can you ever not brush your teeth no matter how late you are to leave the house?
Like never. What?
Impossible. That's impossible.
In what?
This is impossible. Can't.
No, gift, right?
It's impossible.
No matter how late you're going to be for work,
Yep.
Can you say, no, I'm not going to brush my teeth today?
It's impossible.
It's easier to even say, I will not take my bath.
Because you had a bath the night before.
Yeah.
Why?
But not to brush your
Why do you have to brush your teeth before you leave the house?
I don't want to ooze.
teeth.
I need to
come in contact with
communicate.
people. You're going to open your mouth and talk.
All right, so the consequences of you not brushing your teeth forces you to brush your teeth.
It's unhygienic even for the person who's listening to you.
Okay. Now, we are humans. We don't just consist of mass body. We're spiritual beings.
So-
We're emotional beings. We're physical beings. So when you're physically providing for the family, making ends meet, what happened to your spiritual and emotional hygiene?
Right. So spiritual hygiene.
You are neglecting two aspects of you when you're providing financially. That's physical. The spiritual and emotional part, they don't mean nothing to you because you can't see it. But they end up being exactly what you need when you found that money. Mind you, that goalpost of trying to make money gets
Always
pushed
shifting. Yeah.
every time. So you keep the rat race, it never stops. The rat race never stops. You wake up one day, your kids are 15, 16, and you still don't have time to catch up because now they're out of the house going to school.
And the
At
school
what
fees
point really do you plan on catching up? So if you are trying to make ends meet for this very family you are killing yourself for, and the spiritual part and the emotional part is not a priority because you can't see the consequences of not doing that. Because with the brushing your teeth, you know the consequences. The emotional, spiritual, as the father, the head of the house, the one that carries all the burdens, you don't see it. Yes, the intentions are perfectly fine. They're trying to provide. That is really very, very commendable.
Yeah. And
Because
responsible.
not all men think that way. And for him to even come forward to make this complaint, it means his heart is at the right place. He just needs to know it's him that came forward, not her. He's the one that came forward. It means his heart is at the right place. So maybe given 1 or 2 tools, simple tools, he can make it work.
So you know that this conversation, Mary comes and literally schools us, and that's like, you live here. Last week, the last time you came and talked about sex education, for the rest of the week and the week after, people kept sending us messages around what you said. Yes. Oh my gosh,
that lady that did something
I had
about
a doctor friend. Oh, by the way, Dr. Kona, happy birthday to you. It's your birthday today. Dr. Kona said, I mean, I'm a doctor and she had children. I've done all this, but the angles you came from, you literally, like, I know I'm going to be a good mother. Like, honestly speaking,
understanding everything, because we have to dissect all of that. And at the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, you have to start writing notes when Mary the voice is talking. Because I mean,
the good thing is it's on YouTube, so we can always pull it out of YouTube
and say, you know what, let's just watch it and let's talk about it
again. So now I want to what you just said about emotional hygiene. You said something and I pieced it with what he had said, which is, the kids are very young right now. We can still make up for lost time when I'm more comfortable, basically. And I thought about, especially as a Nigerian child, how many of our parents, there are lots of sometimes it's moms, sometimes it's the dads, that were too busy chasing the money and trying to provide physically. And then one day they wake up, their children have grown so much and there's no connection. And then they start to beef the other parent for the connection that they have because they were intentional. So it is unhygienic. Like, emotional hygiene, I will not forget the words. If you have been in that situation, if growing up, how was your emotional hygiene as a child?
Connection
bonds with your parents. What did you guys do that was something that you guys bonded over, that has held you and you would like to transfer to your children? If you have, whether it is good or bad, if you don't have, share. And then as a person, as you're listening to this conversation, what are you picking up as your own emotional hygiene as you settle down, as you get older, whether you marry or not, but as you get older as a person?
No, so let me just also add a few examples to that. So they make basic check-ins every day over the weekends. It doesn't have to be every day. Maybe you're coming late from work, traffic, you get home maybe after 10, the kids are already in bed. So you can't do nothing. I'm very realistic with our traffic.
Yes,
but then weekends, are you really busy 24 hours a day as a dad? Are you really legit busy 24 hours a day, even over the weekends? So what I'm talking about is you taking out maybe 20 minutes on a Saturday or on a Sunday. No, that's a lot.
I say,
make it easy. You know how you want to work out and you say, I'm going to work out for 2 hours, then it sounds so exhausting that you don't want to do it because it's a lot of time. Do 10, 15 minutes each day, undivided attention with your kids, each individual. 10 minutes, not more. No phone, no nothing. How was school this week? What did you learn this week? Did anyone hurt you? Did anyone bother you? Did anyone bully you? Are you happy? What is the happiest thing that happened to you this week? What really stressed you or bothered you this week? What are you struggling with in school or with your friends right now? 10 minutes. Check in with your child on a Saturday. On a Sunday, I don't know, find another 10 minutes. Just 10. Don't bring activities. I'm not trying to make it cumbersome. Check in. Have a ritual for yourself with your kids as a dad, because we don't want you coming blaming your wife in 15 years that she did not help you bond with your kids because she was doing her job.
Trying to bond with her kids.
No. It's her job to take care of the kids and raise the kids.
Right.
Automatically and naturally, she will bond with the kids because she's a caregiver. That's her job.
And this can be vice versa.
But then the thing is, we leave in our culture, we leave raising of the kids as the woman's job. The men feel providing financially is their job. Attending to the emotional, the spiritual, no, the women should do that. But then they come back complaining much later when the kids are older. That is when maturity has set in. They've slowed down with trying to make money. Then they're trying to look back like, oh, you should have told them, go and tell them to do this for me. You should have helped me bond with them. But that's exactly what the woman is doing right now in this story. She's trying to help you connect with home. It's up to you to figure out, okay, what can I do? Maybe in his mind, he has to take the kids out. He's looking at it in a very big thing. I'm telling you today, as a daddy, 10 minutes on a Saturday, no phones, no nothing. Talk to your kids about their week. You surprised 15 minutes will end up being an hour. You didn't even know. And if you do that, because it's check-ins regularly, you are building a routine. You are building trust. You are building an environment that is going to allow them to open up to you. You do that over the years, 15 minutes, even if you travel as a father. Call and do that.
15 minutes, 10
Call,
15
let them look forward to it as well, because it now becomes a routine. So they look forward to, oh, daddy, you didn't call me then.
Exactly.
We didn't do our thing.
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
not be a thing with, oh, there's something I do with my dad.
Yeah.
I'm having those pimples right now. Like,
So even if you're a traveler, Ajalo
Ajala.
like me, call, make it a routine. That Saturday, that Sunday is that time with your kids. Do the routine thing so that when they grow older, it's a routine.
Yeah.
You don't deviate from it. You started brushing your teeth when you're a child. It's become part of you.
Right.
Start doing it now. It becomes part of their family routine as they grow older.
I like that you mentioned something I did see on social media where one woman was saying that the job of the woman, especially if her husband is a traveler and he's unavailable to be there for the kids, it's the onus is on her to ensure that there's a bond that is created between the children at home and the father who may be abroad or outside. But do you think this is true? Why would you give her such a burden? Do you think it's a burden?
It depends. If it works for them, hello, I'm a therapist. If it works for you, who am I to judge?
But typically,
people do what works for them. What works for me won't work for you in your home dynamic. So I can't judge. If she's complaining, then okay, then there's a problem.
Right.
But for me to now say what if I think it's right or wrong, is she complaining?
I think it's important though.
Do you know what I mean?
I think
I do.
I think it's important to emphasize that it is her job to make the moves. It is his job to either do something about, like this woman has told her husband, you're losing family time. She can only try to convince him. She cannot make him have family time.
Right.
The onus still lies on him.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
No, but
you're not saying that from a
I
therapist
love
point
the
of view.
fact
but yeah.
that he is now looking for a third party advice
Yeah.
away from the wife. Let me see whether this woman is she
Is she
putting
doing
too much pressure, or
Yeah.
let me hear it out. And I'm telling you, yeah, these are I'm just giving you some of the consequences of what you're not doing today. Now, depending on, Oga, if you're listening, whatever you want to reap out of your family tomorrow, the seeds must be planted today.
You can't just make up for lost times.
If you're not planting the seeds now, I don't know, harvesting time, is it gonna ever happen? He should ask himself, how does he see his family in another 10, 15 years when the kids are older? What relationship does he want to have with his kids? That would help him know what he needs to do today.
So, again, I love the way that you introduced the conversation. Typically, you have, and you've alluded to that as well. The African society, in his mind, my first job is to provide.
And he was raised like that as well. And that's probably what he got as well.
I want to also hold space for men who are the ones who are making the effort to work and yet bond. There are women, and I know a few, and I know one that's in my head right now, that I don't understand how you are not bonding with your children at all. You're more focused at work. When you come home, you are working. Your husband is the one who thinks and is on the tomatoes and buys. Your help and your husband are the ones that discuss breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The kids are with your husband and they're well taken care of. And if he's not around, it is evident. So there are women like that. If you're listening, this goes to you too. because I want it to be, as balanced as possible. There are people who are, women who are more workaholics.
Because I remember that you did say that when the mother of the woman had to come stay over, she started saying that the house help was sleeping with her husband.
Oh, that story.
Yeah.
That's story.
So yes, there's the number to call.
To be a part of the conversation.
Yeah, if you have questions, you have thoughts, you have angles that we're not looking at, because we're not see everything from there's always
5 and 7.
What is that?
Yeah. What is that?
Just so we're clear.
Okay, before I answer that question, let me get to or say this, that you can only give what you know. So even as a woman, as a mother that is a workaholic or whatever she is or whatever he is, you can only give what you know. Unless you are taught that, what you know is not all that you know. It can be different. Or you see other people doing otherwise and you be like, oh, okay, I like that. I like to change it. So unless you see something different from what you know and you like or you dislike,
you see the dividends.
You are who you are. Who said who you are is wrong?
Now, so it has led me to yet another question, or is it a conversation? Before we answer the emotional detachment, I remember being 7 years of age. And usually we wait for our dad outside at the balcony, and we see him walking up the stairs, and we just literally run to him. So there's this shirt that he wore to work that he likes to wear. It was a sky blue top and navy blue pants. So we're waiting for our dad. Usually he'll come at 9 o'clock, and my mom is like, 9:30, you all at bed. If your father doesn't come at 9, don't worry. You can see him tomorrow morning before you leave for school. And so we were waiting, and then we see someone who has my father's physique coming up the stairs, and as children, daddy, we were running and racing to go meet him, to get, of course, he'll carry each and every one of us, and then he'll take sweets, the youngest, that was my brother then, he would give him sweets from his mouth, and so my brother would take it. So it was my turn, I grew older, my sister took over, then my brother took over, then the last one took over.
Nice.
So running towards the staircase, I stood at the big start of the stairs, and I looked down, I was like, that's not my daddy. But my siblings had ran and they jumped, and this man lifted them up and he was so joyed. And he came into where we were at, stood there and looked at my mom. He said, when is your husband coming back? Says he's going to come back in like 35 minutes. He said, I'm going to wait for him. I want to see the landlord, but I'll wait for your husband. And afterwards, he went and sat down with my dad and said, how do you do this? Why do you? I don't know how, because he says his own kids don't do that. When they see that he's coming, they hide, or they run away, or they're just doing every other thing. So what do you do? How do you do? Like, you come back at this time and you still have to have this bond with your children. How? So for every man who it's hard for them out there, how do you think they can do it?
Where do they? You've talked about the 10, 15 minutes, focus, give that child attention, which is so prime. Yes. I heard the other day, I think, was it you that shared it with me on Instagram? Someone said that the reason the reason our kids are so soaked into gadgets is because we as the adults are so soaked into gadgets and they're taking after us. So how does someone in that man's case, like the one she just portrayed, where does he begin? Because the kids are already running away. How do I get them to start to turn around, turn a new leaf?
Kids are very forgiving.
True.
And very innocent.
That is so true.
Kids are very, very forgiving and very innocent.
Oh, that is so cute.
That's all. Kids are very forgiving. They're waiting for your love.
So how do
kids
I start?
Wait for you to love them.
So how does he start this sort of a trend? Because clearly he made an impact in his life. The question is, how do I now? Yes,
mirror it. Yes.
At home. So depending on how old the kids are, if his kids are under 5, very easy. Very under 5, very
super easy.
Between 5 and 10. Still very easy. You have to talk a lot because sense don't enter. They're very sensible, but it's also very easy. Pre-teen teenagers, good luck. It's gonna be a bit harder, because they have they've developed personalities. By the time they're pre-teen teenagers, personalities is about to set in. They know what they like. They know what they don't like. They know when you're trying to be shady. They can read the room. You know, they're a bit aware. Consciousness is setting in.
Why is daddy calling me every other time? He wouldn't usually call me. So what's he doing?
So under 10, you can still make it work under 10 because kids still love you. They look up to you. It's just you not seeing them for who they are, that they admire you. So if you only saw how they see you.
You just said that. Hold on. We got to take a call because I got to say something else. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Prof, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning to our beautiful guest.
Hi,
Mary
good
with the
morning.
voice.
She's been a great job.
All right, fantastic.
I learned a lot, yes. But it's like we just pushed everything to men.
No, I didn't hear me talk about the women's side too.
No, because of the case now you people are treating now.
Yes.
And that you people are telling it. You know, husband and wife, there are so many rooms. So many people are giving this. So husband and wife, they leave early in the morning and come back very late. But they leave in the morning. The kids are still sleeping. And they leave their kids at the mercy of housemaids. They come back very late. By the time they come back at night, the kids have already slept.
Right.
This thing continues from Monday till Saturday. How do you reconcile this? Do we call it emotional? How do you reconcile it concerning emotional hygiene? You can call it emotional toxic as you want. When the children doesn't see their parents at all. This man role is that the wife is there for the kids.
That's true.
When mommy and daddy are out from Monday to Saturday, children don't see their parents go. And the housemaid came from village. You don't know the background. You don't know the orientation. And it is what the housemaid has that he impart on these children.
Yeah.
And you see the parents that have all the wealth, and their children are behaving somehow. What type of children are we raising in the society? I want our guests to come.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. You know,
so much.
he's so correct because the economy that we operate in now,
Both
parties
have to work to bring food to the table.
Yeah.
And so doing all of that, how do they even reconcile with their children?
So if both parents, husband and wife, are trying to we're both on the same page, we're trying to bond, try to distress the house, making sure that we express ourselves, we have to plan. Just like you're brushing your teeth, you still find time to do that? Okay. We will find... No, listen. Where there is a will...
There's a way.
Always a way. When you're sick and you can't go to work, you will go to the hospital.
Straight up.
You will, because you can't go to work. So if you don't prioritize that family time as important as brushing your teeth and going to the hospital if you're not well, we push it to the back burner because... like you said, we can make it always later. Now, if it means anything to you, you want to prioritize, okay, we're both busy. What time do we leave the house?
First.
Okay, can we squeeze in 10 minutes before we leave the house? I do 10 minutes before I go. You do the night one before we sleep. Who comes earlier? Who comes later? Who leaves the house earlier than the other person? Okay, since you leave earlier, you do the bonding time with the kids in the morning. Since I come early in the night, I do the night one with them, the routine. Saturdays and Sundays, okay, what's our schedule like? Okay, we have this meeting, we have that meeting. You prioritize a lot of things in your life. If the emotional check-ins and connection with your family is not a priority, you will not make it a priority. It is what it is because it doesn't hurt anyone. You don't see the hurt.
Until later.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt anyone at the beginning because the kids are still kids. They're babies. They won't complain. And kids don't know what they don't get. Kids don't know what you don't give them. It is
Until
much later when they're older and they see their classmates or friends receiving certain things like your landlord person coming and say, okay, this could have been this way, but I didn't get it. Okay. Now there is resentment.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you have emotional like resentment sets in, the detachment you're talking about, they completely move away. Like, okay, this is what you did to me. You could have done it. It could have been this way.
It's too late to try to change anything.
Detach. I'm not doing anything with you. I'm done.
If you are just joining us,
yeah,
that voice is Mary with the Voice, one and only, and she's our holistic therapist here on Family Matters. Almost every Wednesday when she's available to us, because we find a privilege to have her in the studio.
Absolutely.
And we are talking emotional hygiene, and that's because someone sent us a message saying, "Hello, ladies. I'm 37, married with 2 young kids. I live in Abuja with my family, and I have to be honest, things haven't been easy. I owned my own small company, but the Nigerian economy ran my business to the ground. It's been so crazy that I've had to go back to the 9-to-5 system. My work is so intensive and exhausting that I sometimes have to bring work home. My wife has been so supportive. The problem, though, is that she keeps complaining about me missing out on family time and bonding. For me, my primary focus is being able to take care of